This coming year is a year that's going to be a period of a lot of transition. It's a period of change, not only for the Science and Technology Complex, but for the main campus as well. This year, it is essential that we all fully understand the role that the student government will be playing. This year is about making sure that in the merging of these two cultures, we build a unified identity. This identity is going to be an identity of Lasallian excellence. This coming year, there are a few things we want to be able to do. But in order to do that, you need leaders who know, understand, and realize beyond the surface level issues that we are going to address. This year, it's going to be about pioneering our movement, a students' movement, grounded on your rights and your welfare. Kasi dapat alam niyo kung saan napupunta ang pera niyo na binabayad niyo sa tuition. Kasi dapat alam niyo lahat nangyayari sa loob ng university niyo. Kasi dapat may boses kayo sa loob at sa labas ng university nito. As your student government president, it is my role to make sure that this is the direction that the university student government will be taking next year. Next year, it's all about making sure that you understand the things you are entitled to so that you too can move one with the entire student government. Because at the end of the day, this is your student government and this is the service we have to offer you. Thank you. As a student government, the main issue that we have to recognize is that our role as a student government is ultimately about representation. A USG exists to represent you as a student government. It's there to make sure that the administration knows that you guys have a voice within the university. It's there to make sure that you are able to hold other sectors accountable because of the existence of your own student government. This is a primary issue because slowly we're regressing as a student government. We're slowly forgetting what it is we exist for. And it's important that we go back to that. We go back to who we are as a student government so the students themselves can also see and understand what it is they can do because of their student government. That's why in the coming year, as I've mentioned earlier, it's all about allowing people to understand once again what they are entitled to through making sure that they know what their rights and their welfare are. And this is a movement we're going to be starting through the movements of the different executive board offices. Under the executive treasurer, there's a movement for vigilance. It's about holding the administration accountable and your student government accountable for all the funds that we're going to be allocating. This is going to be done through a financial checks and balances system. This is a system that will ensure that in the different offices that are within De La Salle University, both in Maine and the Science and Technology Complex, we will make sure that the prices of everything are held correct and comparable to outside the university. The second movement is a movement for engagement. It is essential that you understand as students that you are very much part of the student government. And this is only going to happen if you know what is happening. So every single student government officer in the coming year will be held accountable to you through reinforcing the judiciary, from moving from a two-magistrate current student government to fully completing that student government through the judiciary branch. The third movement is a movement for activism. This movement for activism can only happen if you recognize that you have individual passions and that with the student government, you can push for it. A movement for empowerment. This movement for empowerment will allow us to see and recognize that as Lasallians, there are so many things we are capable of. But it is first necessary that within De La Salle University, you see your relevance. Through the Student Services Charter, you will have representation in the different decision-making bodies in the coming year. Thank you. A campaign and an election is a continuous fight for the vision that we support. And that vision is a vision of a just and free society. To a lot of people, it's a lofty image. To a lot of people, it's an ideal image that we've built in our heads. But to us, it's a vision and it's an ideal that we want to share with the rest of the world. I may not be able to share this with the rest of the student government directly, should the results not be in our favor, but my support to the student government will not cease because I will forever be a part of the political party I stand for. We, as a political party, will forever fight and stand for the things that we entered into. Because at the end of the day, we are here as student government officers. The principles that hold us together as a political party are the principles that will hold us together after this campaign. Thank you. So the first point I'd like to raise is that although we have our individual roles as student government elected officers, at the end of the day, we always work as one USG. I think that regardless of whether or not we have a science and technology complex in the executive board, we will be closely coordinating with the science and technology complex campus representative to make sure that the voice of the students here in STC are heard by the overall arcing body, which is the executive board. This will be ensured through regular meetings that is actually already happening right now as status quo in the student government. The second point I'd like to be able to raise is that in our platform, this is actually something that we want to be able to review in the coming year. This is an integration of two campuses, and it is essential that the student government plays a concrete role in making sure that we as a student government really push for student representation. So next year is all about really reviewing how this structure is going to best work not only for students in the main campus, but for students in STC as well.
Okay, salamat.